we are, I would say we're timeless. Some styles have been made for 40, 50 years. We are not changing them. We may make some variations to make them slightly more modern. We need to embrace the future, but we need to respect the history and the tradition of the company. We are now approaching the 200 years of the company. Cutting room, you've got two ways of cutting. Very traditional way, cutting by hand. So it takes much longer to do. It's very precise. You put the pattern on the skin and you go with your knife all around the pattern to cut the pattern to exact shape. So if you imagine, one by one, it takes a very long time to cut a pair of shoes. Yeah, half an hour a pair? Something like that, yeah, 30 minutes, yeah. And on this side, we're cutting with press knives. So these are very, very sharp knives. So what's interesting is when you're using a knife, you can already have all the perforation and the gimping already in the knife. All the different knives. This is an interesting machine. My colleague will show you. It's called blocking. During the wear, if you don't shape it, the leather will collapse. So on this machine, you start obviously with a flat piece of leather, and he's gonna mold it in the machine to make it to the shape you want. And then finish off on that one. So he's using first step on this machine, second step on the other machine. But that was the flat piece of leather earlier, and now it's already starting to have a nice shape. So the machine puts pressure and heat to mold the leather. Gimping is a little wave on the outside. She's trimming the leather. In the press knife, you could have the gimping. If it's not, and we still want it, she can do it with the machine. In this room, they're doing all the assembly. At first you add all the different flat pieces of leather, and then everything is stitched together to make the front of the shoe. You've got 2 rows. She's done that by hand. It's not a machine doing it. This is like a sauna. Oh. You're gonna come inside. You will feel some moist and some heat. We leave the leather in this room. We don't want it to be too dry, otherwise it's going to crack. And we don't want it too moist, otherwise it's going to stretch too much. So we're leaving that in this room. And then at the last minute, we pull it to be able to work on it downstairs. This is the repair department. All the shoes we're making can be repaired. On a daily basis, customers are sending their shoes. We're putting them there with what they want to replace with, and then we start in this room reworking them.
You see the linings are like completely like worn through, so we can take that whole thing out and then put a new one in, basically.
Once it's stripped, it's going to go downstairs and everything's going to be rebuilt on the shoe. So on top of being the repair department, this is where we do some bespoke work. So this pair of last will only fit for one customer's shoes, because that would have been made on the measurement of their feet. And in terms of lead time, we're talking about 15-18 months to make the shoe. It's a completely different process. So all the ready-to-wear and the made-to-order is made of standard shapes. So all these ones are stored here or upstairs. Here you've got the most historic and popular one. So depending on the style you want, you can have some very, very different shapes. Very square toe, a rounder one. The all fours, 4444, 4497, 2298. These are some of the three most popular shapes we're using. Oh wait. So that's the first step of the production downstairs. Shaping the back of the shoe. This is very hot. Put a reinforcement inside the shoe, so it's going to soften it, and then this is very, very cold, and it's going to freeze it to the shape you want. On this one, it's going to do the front of the shoe. So we've done the back. It's going to shape the front of the shoe and stretch it.
On your Tuesday morning, Alice DJ, better blood of history. 1880 wants a big shout out to them. As well, he said hey to Zoe, singing like every song, hey in the office. 50 Cent put it now on Kiss. Jake has saying to get a shout out to Jake and Sid.
We've done the back earlier. We've just done the front. Here it's going to staple all the side of the shoe. So it's suction and shrinking around the shoe. The shoe is protected for the rest of the production. So this part of leather is going to hold the top of the shoe with the bottom of the shoe together. Very important part. Very, very skilled job, and you can see very old machines. So you've added the welds, you start working on the bottom of the shoe to start building to put the sole. She's gonna fill the hole with a mix of glue and cork. And it's very good when you wear the shoe because it's gonna mold to the shape of your foot. So it's gonna add some comfort when you wear the shoes. Sole press machine. After gluing the sole is put under press to make sure it's stuck properly, and obviously after that it's going to be stitched. So with this machine, he's going to trim the sole and he's going to open the leather to be able to stitch it afterwards. The excess has been trimmed nicely, so it's regular all around. And he started to open to do a small cut in the leather, and with this machine he's going to lift it. So the leather has been prepared. He's going to do the stitching to attach the sole to the rest of the shoe. We've already put some glue, but we tend to glue and stitch to be sure it doesn't come. Okay. The top of the shoe has been made, so there's different way of attaching, but we've attached the sole, so what's missing is the heel. So in the next room we're going to attach the heel to the shoe. We're going to attach the heel to the shoe. So Scott is our factory manager. He's helping on the machine at the minute. So the nails are in the tank they're going through the small white pipes inside the foot, and then with pressure they're going to be put inside.
And then the nails will come down again.
So we've got a huge different kind of hills. On this side, they're going to trim very smoothly to be sure it's nice. On the other side of the room, they're going to do all the colouring. She's adding a piece of leather and some foam for comfort and to hide the nails. You've done them all? Yeah.
Yep, they're done.
So here, it's antiquing of the leather, so putting cream and wax to make sure the leather, nice color, treated nicely, yeah? This one is burnishing, so it's gonna add extra shine, rubbing the shoe with wax to make sure it's nice and shiny. It's going to add even more wax to make it shiny. This is final repair department for before boxing and quality inspection. She's doing the first check, he's doing the second check, and then making sure the shoes are perfect. Lots and lots of things to check. It could be color, it could be a stain, it could be manufacturing.
I've been working in the shoe trade now since I was 16 and a half, and that's where I've been all my time. I've moved around a few factories, like when I started at Webb's. I'm a number 10 stitcher. That is one of the most important jobs in the factory. It's a pretty skilled job. Can you imagine when you've got a big lace in there, and right, you've got to stitch in there, you've got to try and twist it like that to get in there, and then you just go all the way around like that. And then you have to remember to swap your hand over and go around and then finish under there, and you cut it off and you can't see where you finished. What it is, all the shoes are different shapes, so I've just got to follow the shape. And I've learned to, when I stitch, I relax. It's just like driving. When you're in a car, when you come to school, you go around. But somebody who's just learning, it's sort of like, sort of, or they just go like, and it's too late, they've gone over the curb. So yeah. You know, I enjoy making shoes, you know, that's my life, but, you know, that's what I was going to say, really. Shoes, shoes and shoes.
Everyone's got a lot of experience, passion to making shoes. That's what I believe. A Trickers has got a really good quality and history, and we still carry on to making this for future. Some people wear 20 years, 30 years for one pair, but we can keep it because we're using the quality leather. Customer, all different generation people. It's really good for women as well.
We're trying to be traditional to create new things. That's still our core style, but we decided to make it, wow, you've got a green lining, white laces, so suddenly it's something completely different, but it's still what we're doing. Yeah, absolutely, like this one. Trickers, we are the oldest shoemakers in England. We are now approaching the 200 years of the company. So it's a huge responsibility for all of us working here. We need to embrace the future, but we need to respect the history and the tradition of the company. Some styles been made for 40, 50 years. We are not changing them. We may make some variations to make them slightly more modern, but our customers, they really like Trickers as it is. So we need to make sure that a customer buying a pair of shoes now would be as pleased as when he was buying the pair of shoes 10, 15, 20 years ago. They want to have the same quality, the same durability. And it's sustainable as well. Repair is an important part of our business. You've got the shoes you've been wearing for years. You've got a history. You've been wearing them. You've been to special events. They mean something to you. You don't want to throw them away. Very traditional, but it doesn't mean we're stuck in the past, really. We're still fully living in 2025 and then really looking at the future as well.